Hello everyone, hope you all are doing fine. So let's start with another topic of grammar, that is pronouns. Now what are pronouns? Let's come to its definition. A pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. So in order to avoid repetition of nouns, we use pronouns. Hence a pronoun is basically used to avoid repetition of nouns. Now let us take an example. Now Sushmita is a good girl. Sushmita always comes first. Sushmita obeys her teachers. Everybody praises Sushmita. Now, so as you can see in example 1, the noun Sushmita is repeated again and again. Now, let us look at example 2. Sushmita is a good girl. She always comes first. She obeys her teachers. Everybody praises her. Hence, as you can see in example 2, by using the pronoun she and her instead of the nouns, the sentence sounds much better, since we avoided the repetition of the noun Sushmita. Moving on. Now, study the following sentences. I am playing, we are playing, you are playing, they are playing, he or she is playing. So, basically here I, we, you, they, he, she, it and they are all called personal pronouns. Now, they are called personal pronouns because they stand for the following 3 persons. First person. Now, first person is the person speaking. So, the pronoun I and we are said to be personal pronouns of the first person. Now, second person is the person spoken to. Now, you is the personal pronoun of the second person. Third person is a person spoken of. He, she, it and they are the pronouns. They are said to be personal pronouns of the third person. Now, we will discuss different forms of personal pronouns. So, for first person, whether it is masculine or feminine, for nominative case, I is used in singular and we is used in the plural form. For objective case, me is used in the singular and us is used in the plural form. For possessive case, my/mine is used in singular form and our/ours is used in the plural form. Now, for second person, be it masculine or feminine, for nominative case, that is your subjective case, you is used both in the singular as well as in the plural form. For objective case, again you is used both in the singular as well as in the plural form. Now, for the possessive case, your, yours is used in the singular form and in the plural form your, yours is used in the plural form. So, again it is the same. Now, next is your third person. For third person, in nominative case, he is used for the masculine gender, she is used for the feminine gender and it is used for the neuter gender in singular form. Now, and in plural form, they is used for all the genders. Now, coming on to the objective case, him is used for the masculine gender, her is used for the feminine gender and it is used for the neuter gender in singular form. And in plural form, them is used for all the genders. Coming on to the possessive case. Now, in the possessive case, for masculine gender, his is used, for feminine gender, her/hers is used and for neuter gender, its is used in singular form. And in plural form, for all the genders, their/theirs is used. Now, moving on, uses of it. Now, it is normally used for things without life. For example, bring the book I wanted. Now, second use, it is also used for animals unless we clearly wish to speak of them as male and female. For example, the horse fell and broke its leg. I like that bird as it has beautiful colors. Now, moving on, it is also used for a young child or baby unless we wish to clearly refer to its gender. For example, the baby fell down and it started crying. Another example, when I saw the child, it was crying. Now, it is used as a formal or meaningless subject, especially in talking about weather, time or distance. For example, it is raining heavily, it is cold outside, and so on. Now, we will discuss some important rules related to pronouns. Now, here is the first rule. When two or three different pronouns are used together in the same sentence and they have positive thought, then they should be arranged in the following order: second person, then comes your third person, then your first person. So, this order is very important, keep this in mind. So, it is a very important rule. Now, here are few examples related to it. Now, let us look at the first example. I, he and you will manage the situation. So, over here I is your first person, he is your third person and you is your second person. So, is it correct? It is in the order 1, 3, 2. So, is it correct? No. Correct order would be 2, 3, 1, right? So, according to it, the correct answer will be you, he and I will manage the situation. Now, let us look at another example. I and you have to finish this work by today. Now, again, I is your first person and you is your second person. So, again, this sentence is incorrect. It should be arranged in the following order. You and I have to finish this work by today. So, you will be your second person, then I is your first person. So, this will be your correct order. Now, next sentence, you, he and I are going to arrange the ceremony. So, it is in which order? You is your second person, he is your third person and I is your first person. So, it is in the correct order, which is 2, 3, 1. Hence, this sentence is correct. Moving on. Now, here comes another rule. When 2 or 3 different pronouns are used together in the same sentence and they have negative thought, or whenever there is guilt, crime, accusation, mistake, etc., then they should be arranged in the following order: first person, second person, then third person. So, this will be your sequence: first, second, third. Now, moving on, let us discuss some examples. Now, you, he and I are like snake in the grass. So, you is your second person, he is your third person and I is your first person, right? And as you can see, this sentence is having a negative thought. It is talking about you, he and I are like snake in the grass. Hence, the correct order will be first person, second person and then your third person. So, the correct answer will be I, you and he are like snake in the grass. So, now let us look at another example. They, you and we are responsible for their loss. Now, they is your third person, you is your second person, and we is your first person. So, basically the sentence is portraying mistake and guilt, hence it is in a negative sense. So, the correct sequence will be 1, 2, 3, hence the correct statement will be the first person, which is we, you and they are responsible for their loss. First person, second person and third person. Now, moving on, I, you and they are responsible for their crime. I is your first person, you is your second person and they is your third person. So, this sentence is already in the order 1, 2, 3, hence it is correct. Moving on, reflexive pronouns. When self is added to my, your, him, her, it and self is added to your, them, our, then we get what are called as compound personal pronouns. So, when the action done by the subject turns back, basically reflects upon the subject, the compound personal pronoun is called as reflexive pronoun. For example, I slapped myself for spoiling my work. He hurt himself due to his carelessness. So, basically here the action done by the subject is reflecting upon the subject. So, these are known as your reflexive pronouns. Now, next, emphatic pronouns. Now, when the compound personal pronoun is used for laying emphasis on a pronoun or a noun, it is called emphatic pronoun. For example, I myself cleaned the big house. The holiday was declared by the principal himself. She herself spoke to me about it. Next is demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these and those, etc. These are all your demonstrative pronouns. They point out the person or thing or object to which they refer. For example, this is a present from my uncle. Both cars are good, but this is better than that. Another example, these are merely excuses. Now, this and these is used when the person or thing is near in time and place to the speaker, that is close as hand, whereas that and those refers to what is over there, farther away or more remote. So, this is used when something is near and singular. These is used for near and plural, that is used for far and singular, and those is used for far and plural. So, keep this in mind. Now, for example, this book is mine, that pen is yours, these books are mine, those pens are yours, what's that over there? Now, that with its plural those is used to avoid the repetition of a preceding noun. For example, the streets of Delhi are worse than those of Ahmedabad. The rivers of America are larger than those of Europe. The climate of Manali is like that of Nainital. Moving on, indefinite pronouns. Sometimes pronouns like one, none, all, some, few, everyone, anyone, everyone, everybody, anybody, etc. are used to refer to a person or a thing in a general way. Those pronouns that do not refer to any specific or particular person or thing are called indefinite pronouns. For example, few could escape unhurt from the big fire. Many were there, but I did not know anyone. Now, here is an important rule. Always keep this rule in mind. One if used in a sentence, should be used throughout. So, it is a very important rule. It is asked in many exams. For example, one should keep one's promises. One should take care of one's health. One should love one's country. One must not boast of one's own success, and so on. Now, next comes distributive pronouns. Each, either, neither are called distributive pronouns as they refer to a single person or thing in a group, one at a time. They equally distribute attention to each unit in a group. They are always singular and are therefore followed by a verb in the singular. Each denotes every one of a number of persons or things in a group taken singly. Either denotes one or the other in a group of two. Neither means not the one nor the other of two. It is the negative of either. For example, each of the boys has received a present. Either of the methods leads to the same result. Neither of the two answers is correct. Now, moving on, reciprocal pronouns. Each other and one another are called reciprocal pronouns because they denote reciprocal or mutual action. Each other is generally used when two persons or things are referred to, and one another is preferred when more than two persons or things are referred to. For example, the two brothers loved each other. The three brothers loved one another. Fine. Moving on, relative pronouns. Now, a relative pronoun is one which is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously, whether they are people, places, things, animals, etc. Relative pronouns can be used to join two sentences. So, let us take an example. Sentence 1, I do not know the man. Sentence 2, the man was shouting loudly. So, on combining them, the sentence that will be formed will be, I do not know the man who was shouting loudly. So, basically the word who is used instead of the noun man in the second sentence. So, it works like a pronoun. The word who also joins the two sentences. So, it also does the work of a conjunction. As the two sentences combine, they become the two clauses, that is units of a big sentence. The noun man of one clause changes into a pronoun, that is who, of another sentence, and is directly related to the noun, that is man, of another clause. Such a pronoun is called a relative pronoun as it refers or relates to some noun, here man, going before it. So, this word is called its antecedent. Now, the most common relative pronouns are which, what, that, whose, who and whom. Now, uses of relative pronouns. Who as a general rule is used for persons only, but it is sometimes used for animals also. For example, the man who is honest is trusted. Another example, the horse who was in the stable died. Now, whose is a possessive case of who, and it is used in speaking of persons, animals and also sometimes things without life. The sun whose rays gives life to the earth is regarded by some people as God, which is used for things without life and for animals also. The books which you gave me were lost. The horse which I recently bought is an Arab. What refers to things only. What is done cannot be undone. He found what he was looking for. Now, that is used for persons and things. For example, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Now, that is used in preference to who or which in the following cases. After the superlative degree of adjectives, for example, Ashoka was the best king that ever ruled in India. So, in this sentence we can also use who. Ashoka was the best king who ever ruled in India. Now, that is also used after the interrogative pronouns who, what, etc. For example, who am I that I should object? What is that troubles you so much? After the words all, none, nothing, any, only, same, etc. All that glitters is not gold. Man is the only animal that can talk. Moving on, that is also used after two antecedents, one denoting a person and the other denoting an animal or a thing. For example, the boy and his dog that had trespassed on the club premises were caught. That is also used in place of on which, in which, at which, etc. I still remember the day that we met for the first time. Now, let us start with a few questions. Now, the first question: in the summer vacations, I went to an island called Fiji and enjoyed very much. So, basically I will give you some time, try solving the questions on your own. You need to find out the grammatical error in the given question. So, is it done? Now, let us look at the solution. The correct answer is option B. So, the error is in option B. Now, we need to insert myself after the verb enjoyed, because the verb enjoy either takes an object or a reflexive pronoun after it. Hence, the correct sentence would be: in the summer vacations, I went to an island called Fiji and enjoyed myself very much. Moving on, solve this question. So, is it done? Now, let us tally. The selectors told the players that one ought to work very hard to fix his place in the team. So, the grammatical error is in option A. We need to replace his by one's. As we studied earlier, one, if used in a sentence, should be used throughout. So, the correct statement would be: the selectors told the players that one ought to work very hard to fix one's place in the team. Moving on, solve this one. So, is it done? So, now let us check the answer. So, the grammatical error is in option B. Here, that is wrong. Basically, in the given sentence, a comparison is made between the roads of Delhi and the roads of Noida. Now, roads is a plural noun, hence a plural pronoun should be used for it. Now, that is used for singular and those is used for plural. Hence, those will be used instead of that in the given sentence. So, the correct statement will be: the roads of Delhi are broader and cleaner than those of Noida. Moving on. So, let us tally. I and she have been invited to the opening ceremony of a music company. So, the error is in option C. Now, as we already discussed this rule a while ago, so what is the rule? Let me repeat it. When 2 or 3 different pronouns are used together in the same sentence and they have positive thought, they should be arranged in the following sequence: second person, then your third person, then your first person, right. So, this is the correct sequence. So, here I is your first person and she is your third person. Hence, the correct order would be 3-1. So, the correct answer is she and I have been invited to the opening ceremony of a music company. She and I will be the correct answer. Moving on. Now, let us check the answer. Sarah found a beautiful dress for her while shopping. So, the grammatical error is in option B. We will use herself in place of her because this is a case of reflexive pronoun. Hence, the correct sentence will be Sarah found a beautiful dress for herself while shopping. Now, solve this question. So, now let us tally the answer. As such, banks play an underappreciated role in the economy. To some extent, bank loan officers decide whom projects and or businesses are worth pursuing and are deserving of capital. So, the grammatical error is in option B. So, here usage of whom as a pronoun is inappropriate as it is used for the person instead of whom, which should be used since the sentence talks about things like projects, businesses, etc. So, the correct statement would be as such banks play an underappreciated role in the economy. To some extent, bank loan officers decide which projects and or businesses are worth pursuing and are deserving of capital. Now, next, so is it done? Now, let us see. The manager ordered the watchman to let the boys and I go in. So, the correct answer is option C, boys and I go in. So, now here instead of I, me should be used because after the word let, pronouns are always used in the objective case and the objective case of the first person is me. Hence, the correct statement would be the manager ordered the watchman to let the boys and me go in. Now, moving on, solve this one. So, is it done? Now, let us tally the answer. He introduced to the chairman as the host of the event. Now, so the grammatical error is in option C, add himself after the word introduced. So, here is an important rule. after the words like hurt, cheat, introduce, present, absent, satisfy, enjoy, either an object or reflexive pronoun is used. So, let me repeat. After the words like hurt, cheat, introduce, present, absent, satisfied, enjoy and so on, either an object or reflexive pronoun is used. Hence, the correct statement would be he introduced himself to the chairman or as the host of the event. Now, next question, solve this. Now, so is it done? Let us check. I, you and he must attend the seminar on career guidance. So, the correct option having grammatical error is option B. Now, as we all know, the correct sequence is always second, third and first, right? Now, so what is the sequence over here? First person, second person and third person. So, the correct order would be, tell me, it will be you, comma, he and I must attend the seminar on career guidance. Now, moving on, next question. So, now let us look at the answer. The Congress party stood for implementation of the nuclear liability bill and was ready to stake their political existence. So, the error is in option C. Now, as we all know, party is a collective noun. As we studied earlier, collective nouns are generally used in the neuter gender. Hence, its will be used instead of their. Basically, here use of pronoun there is incorrect. So, the correct statement would be the Congress party stood for implementation of the nuclear liability bill and was ready to stake its political existence. So, the correct statement is its. So, that is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.